Welcome back to the channel for another video. Of course, as always, we're back in the seat today and we're back talking about Wrexham Football Club with a few different interesting topics. You've probably clicked on this video from the title of the video. We finally got a big update regarding the Kop Stand, and one that is very intriguing. But before we get going in today's video, take a look at this shirt. I'm rocking this 78-79 replica Wrexham AFC shirt from all those years ago, and if you do want to pick one of these up yourselves, they are in the Chevron menswear shop located in the centre of Wrexham. I couldn't recommend them more. They've got multiple different replica shirts from many years ago. I'm sure for the older fans it'll give that nostalgic feeling and that opportunity to get those shirts now, which are like going for £200-300, to get them in a replica like this. They literally look no different. They're £35, great value for money, the material's good, and I am in love with this shirt. But before we get going in today's video, if you'd like to see more Wrexham AFC content on YouTube, this is the place to be. Make sure to get down there and click the red subscribe button. We're on the road to 26,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you enough for all the support you've shown me over the past month or two. And let's go for big like target today. Go big or go home. 700 likes, and it'll be on screen here as always in today's video, as it should be. Everyone who has supported the channel further, I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart for everyone who has supported the channel further. Of course, it'll be the first link in the description down below if you would like to go that one step further. But without further ado, let's get talking Wrexham AFC. Starting off with our game last night against Wolverhampton Wanderers under 21s. It did end in a routine victory, 3-0 to Wrexham. I had a feeling we'd score 3 or 4. I said it in my last video and we did exactly that. We were expected, of course, to go out and field a relatively strong team. A couple of years back, if we were in this competition, a strong team would have probably been our first team, but now we fielded a strong team and it was mostly players that haven't featured much in our League One campaign so far. So it was a very strong team, but when you look at it, it just highlights our depth even more. And it was a very pleasing performance, I thought, from the minute 1 to minute 90. Wolves had a bit of the ball. They were good in possession. You expect that from sort of a young team, some dynamic play. The game is just continuing to develop and revolutionise, and I think we saw an alright performance in Wolves, but overall it was our experience that showed. And talking on that first goal, that was a thing of beauty. The free kick from Anthony Ford was right on the money for Lewis Brunt to tap home his first goal for Wrexham. I thought Lewis Brunt yesterday was very good. Of course, he had that full 90 minutes under his belt, and I thought he looked dominant in the air, good on the ball as well. So to have that player who is good in the air, good aerial attributes, and then with the ball at his feet, he's very comfortable, is definitely, two assets in one. And then you look at his short cameo at home to Northampton Town in the league on Saturday, and again, I thought he looked good in the air, comfortable with the ball at his feet. And it's a question now, can Lewis Brunt cement himself into that right centre-back spot? Because Max Cleworth is out injured at the minute. Dan Scarr is currently playing there, and there's no guarantee that Scarr will start the next game. Of course, with the competition and the increased depth in that right centre-back spot, there'd be no harm in switching from Dan Scarr to Lewis Brunt. But after seeing Dan Scarr, on Saturday, it was a very, experienced performance, I thought, from Scarr, and considering we're coming up against a team that haven't performed well as yet in Rotherham United, they've still got a team full of experience and are more than capable of pulling a result out the bag. And to think they've got one of League One's best ever strikers, Johnson Clark-Harris, we're going to need that experience. So it'll be a question, will Parky go for Scarr or Brunt? I think he'll opt for Dan Scarr, just in terms of the situation and the type of team Rotherham United are, but you never know. And looking on the second goal now, Super Paul Mullin added to his Bristol Street Motors Puskas award list with that lovely chip over Welsh goalkeeper Tom King. That's 2 incredible goals from Paul Mullin in the Bristol Street Motors trophy so far. It's a shame none of them have come in the league, and I'm sure that's why he did look slightly annoyed after that goal went in, because I'm sure he'd much rather that have been in the league and to get his goal scoring tally kicking and underway in the league rather than in the Bristol Street Motors trophy, because they're 2 very good goals, and 2 goals that would have got a lot more publicity if they were in League One. But nonetheless, I think we all needed to see Mullin get a goal and a full game under his belt, and I think that's what we all needed, to see Mullin get another goal and a majority of the game under his belt. We got exactly that, and let's hope he can build on that and get that first goal in League One. And once he does, I'm sure like last season, he will not stop scoring. And the icing on the cake was the third goal, in my opinion. Mo Fall with that lovely acrobatic attempt that went under goalkeeper Tom King to make it 3-0. I'm really happy that Mo Fall did get his first goal for the club, because he's a player that's got a lot of potential. I'm glad he got man of the match too. The ball just seemed to glue to his feet whenever he had it. He held up the ball really, really well. His close control with the ball at his feet, I thought, was very, very good, and he showed some promising signs in that game yesterday. It will do him the world of good, of course, getting on the score sheet and getting off the mark for Wrexham, and again silencing all the ridiculous fans, if you want to say, that were slating him after his debut. Just absolutely ridiculous. So I'm glad he did get his goal and shut a few of them up, but looking back on it now, they were 3 fantastic goals. What a showing in front of goal that was yesterday. And looking ahead, you know, before the game, Steve Parkin was speaking on the possible lineup that we were going to see, and he spoke on how the fringe players in the squad are really motivated and itching to get that place in the starting 11 for Wrexham, which is just going to be a big bonus. You know, we've got increased competition in this squad, we've got a highly competitive squad, and it allows the players to not get too comfortable in their boots, because you know there's players in that position that are training hard, putting that extra 10% in and wanting to take their place in the starting 11, so no one can get too comfortable. It's going to raise the standards, and the coaching staff have never failed to assemble a good group of players in terms of personality, and you know, a good group of players that are going to spur the players on in the matchday squad, but and then again be competitive and want to take their spot in the starting 11, which I think has a good balance to it and has played a big factor to our success in the past couple of seasons. Now I'm going to be bringing you a retail update. Now the club shop are now selling all 3 training shirts and quarter zip tops. Now I went into the club shop coincidentally on the day that they did stock all the shirts and all the quarter zip tops in, and I've got a feeling they're going to do really well, because seeing them in person, they're just wacky and unique designs, aren't they? I like the raspberry ripple, as some fans have called it, and the other like gold and white one, and just the simple grey with like the gold slash going down. I think they're all very good shirts. Again, you could say it's sort of like not really a cash grab, but it's an extra way to drive revenue if the club are continuing to, you know, make these unique designs that the fans are going to like and want to purchase. The training shirts are £45, $59. And the quarter zip tops are £60, $78. Now it's been nearly a week since they did actually stock the training gear on the club website, and they still haven't dropped on the website, but I don't think it'll be long at all before you are able to purchase all of this training wear on the website. It will probably be a week, give or take, but yeah, it will not be long at all. This is the part of the video that you did click on to see. We're going to be bringing you a very important Kop update regarding obviously the situation with the redevelopment of the Kop Stand. Now it's another twist and exciting update in regards to the Kop redevelopment. This was revealed by Barry Jones on the latest Fearless in Devotion episode on YouTube, which is a great watch week in, week out. I'd highly recommend it, and it's definitely got me and a lot of others intrigued into this situation. Now Barry Jones did actually reveal that the club will appoint a new architect in the next 2 weeks to look at a new design, as they intend on increasing the capacity from the original plan of the Kop Stand from 5,500 to 7,500 to meet the demand that the clubs faced over the past couple of seasons. This would take the whole capacity of the racecourse ground from around 11,000 to 18,000. And as I reported on my last video, the aim is to have the Kop Stand up for June 2026, which is less than 2 years away. This is because Wales are hosting the Under-19 European Championships. Wales is the host country. 8 teams will be playing in the Euros that year, and they'll be playing in other Welsh grounds. But it's reported that they want the Kop Stand up as soon as possible, in time of course for the Euro Championships, because they want to use the racecourse ground as the main venue for this competition, meaning there's a deadline in place for when Wrexham are set to get the Kop up, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. And I think it'll definitely be an interesting situation to see what type of structure they will go for in the new design. In my opinion, I can see it being quite similar to the one that AFL architects did put together for the original 5,500 seater plan. I do believe it will be one single stand that will run straight the way up from top to bottom, and I can't see them reevaluating and adding tiers, etc., because they're going to want the best atmosphere as possible to come out this Kop Stand. And I think if you're looking at 2 tiers in there, it would just completely ruin the vibe and this situation regarding the atmosphere. And if we're looking at the original plan that was drawn up in 2022, the original plan was obviously to have the hospitality lounge, retail space and office space. In my opinion, I think they're going to have to replan the size of the club shop, of course, due to the increased demand of just anything regarding Wrexham Football Club. You know, you'll see Americans, Canadians, Australians, people from all over the world visiting Wrexham, and people online wanting to buy shirts and training wear, etc., but they'll be out of stock. So, you know, I think this is of course due to the unforeseen demand that they have faced over the past couple of seasons for anything Wrexham related, and I think they could definitely look at possibly building a larger retail space and stocking more stock and shirts, etc., accessories into the club shop. But the other option is, could they keep that the same and look at possibly getting another club shop maybe in town in Eagles Meadow? I do believe there have been talks to put up a temporary club shop in Eagles Meadow in Wrexham, so could they possibly be looking at, 2 or 3 different outlets in Wrexham city centre? So that is definitely an interesting situation to keep your eye on. And yeah, I think it's crazy to think that all of this plan for the 5,500 seater Kop was drawn up before the documentary had even aired and before Wrexham had become a worldwide club, you could say, and grown a worldwide fan base. So that would be my only question regarding the reassessment of the Kop. Could they look at possibly increasing the size of the retail space? Yeah, and if we're going back to deadline now, I'm glad that there is somewhat of a deadline put in place by the Welsh FA if Wrexham are wanting to be that main venue for the European Championships, because at least we'll have some good knowledge of the progress of the Kop and an idea of when the Kop is going to be completed. I do believe work probably won't start until, I can't really put a date on it, I don't actually know. I think it will be probably next year, 2025. Of course, they need to get everything sorted and in time. They haven't even drawn up the next plan for what the Kop is going to look like, so it will probably be maybe March, April next year, unless they're willing to get into it straight away. Then it could possibly be earlier, but if we're looking at it realistically, it probably won't be for another 5 or 6 months. But back on the deadline as well, we'll know when it's been started, of course, with the temporary stand coming down, and we'll finally have a 4-sided permanent ground for the first time in years. Yeah, I've just mentioned then about the temporary stand, and like the FID team did say on their podcast, it'll be a big miss for us without the temporary stand. Of course, it'll take our capacity from around 13,500 back down to around 10, and it will impact the club financially probably over the course of a season, maybe just under less of a season. But you're sacrificing 3,000 fans for a season to allow us to house an extra 7,000 fans for however many years to come, so it will be worth it. And I think most people watching this video, most fans will understand that, but there'll be a select few that won't be happy regarding this situation, will want the club to have like a temporary stand probably on top of the tech end or something. I think something interesting as well that was drawn up in this plan was, of course, the new pitch. They want a new pitch in place for the European Championships, which I think is very exciting, and we could be looking at a new hybrid grass pitch if we're looking to level up on the pitch front. Now, hybrid pitches are very common at the top level of football and international games, especially in international. So I'm sure they'll be looking to install one in time for the Under-19s European Championships, and of course that will allow Wrexham to use it for the future years ahead. So this is a moment that we've been waiting for at least 18 months now. All we've wanted is just some clear and concise information, and to finally get it is very, very refreshing. Of course, to hear the increase in size and to think that there's sort of a new plan being drawn up for what it could look like is just very exciting. I cannot wait to see what it looks like, and that'll make a good video when the plan is drawn up and released to the fans of Wrexham Football Club. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can stick to this plan of getting it done by 2026. Very exciting times ahead. And one question to the viewers at home watching this: is 7,500 enough? Do you think Wrexham could have possibly gone 8,000, 8,500 or 9,000? In my opinion, I think 7,500 is the perfect size, especially if you're looking to increase the size of every single stand, the Tech and Wrexham Lager and the Mould Road, in the future years to come. I think starting off with a 7,500 seater stand is more than perfect. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. It would usually be this time of the video where I'd give out a mini match preview ahead of our game on Saturday, but of course we don't have one due to international call-ups. Very, very frustrating, but I think that's the perfect way to wrap up today's video. We've been given some really good Kop news. We've got a good win under our belt against Wolves last night. It's been a good week for Wrexham Football Club. Make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe, do all that good stuff. Yeah, I cannot thank you enough for the support, like I said at the start of the video, that you've shown me over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, very exciting times ahead. Take care, guys. Up the League One Reds.